Okay, so I'm gonna be making a cake, a big cake. I'm gonna be making one of those there's trending cakes that are Pinterest cakes. I'm gonna try and make one of those. I'm gonna use kids' first cookbook. I'm making chocolate cake today. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 180 degrees. Boom, first step done. Sift the flour and baking powder into a large mixing bowl. Add butter, sugar and eggs. Beat with a wooden spoon or an electric mixer with adult supervision. Okay, so you literally just add the ingredients together. Pretty easy. Oh, I forgot I have to make 3 times as much though, because I'm making 3 cakes to stack on top of each other. Okay, so first thing we need is 2 cups of self-raising flour, but I'm gonna do 6 cups. I'm tripling the recipe. That's a lot of flour. This is not gonna be big enough. This is the biggest bowl I have. Maybe I should do it in 3 separate bowls and do it all at once, so then I have the correct mixture. Okay, so this is 2 cups of flour, and this is just the flour, so there's no way we're gonna be able to fit 6 cups and other ingredients in here, so I'm gonna have to do it in 3 separate bowls. Onto the next bowl. I don't have another bowl, so I'm just gonna use this ice cream container. So now I put a little bit of baking powder into each, and then 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder into each. Oh gosh, I hope it's enough cocoa powder. 4, 8, 12. That's 12 tablespoons of cocoa powder. That's a lot of cocoa powder. So I did end up having enough cocoa powder for the whole, which is good. I hate the feeling of cocoa powder. It's like cornstarch, it's so gross. Next, we add the butter, sugar, and eggs. 3 cups of butter, 3 cups of caster sugar, 9 eggs. It's a lot of ingredients. Should have worn an apron. I dumped the butter in, and I think I melted the butter a bit too much. This is not melted at all because it's margarine, but yeah, well. So this is all the caster sugar we have, and I need 3 cups of this. I'm gonna go buy more. I may as well buy more butter while I'm there. Got the sugar, so now I'm gonna put a cup of sugar. Oh dear. Got the sugar, so I'm gonna put a cup of sugar into each thing and 3 eggs into each as well. And now we just mix it all together. All 3 bowls. Ta-da! That's our first mixture done. My hand's clean, just saying. You can definitely taste that I used butter and not margarine, which would be interesting because I made one of them out of margarine. When it comes, they're cooked, we'll see which one's better, but I'm not a butter person, I don't really like butter. It's nice. But also I realised it's interesting that the recipe doesn't have any vanilla in it, and it's originally for a vanilla cake, so it's a bit weird. I'm gonna put this one in the pan and get this one in the oven. Right, now this goes in the oven for half an hour to 40 minutes. I'm gonna put the timer on for half an hour, and then we'll see how we go. One of the most important parts, getting it out of the pan. Get this plate. Do this. Haha! Very nice, very nice. Go. Oh, perfect. First cake done. Oh, perfection.
The next day.
Okay, so it's the next day, and this is now my cooking jumper. The cakes have been in the fridge overnight. Now I'm gonna make the icing. Okay, so buttercream icing is essentially just butter and icing sugar mixed together with a little bit of milk if necessary. I have absolutely zero concept of how much I'm gonna need. I'm just gonna follow the ratios of this recipe that I have online for all the butter that I bought yesterday. And if I need more, then I'll make more. And if I have too much, then Oh well. I've got quite a bit of icing sugar, hoping I won't need more. This recipe is 125 grams of butter to 1.5 cups of icing sugar. Seems like a lot of sugar. I kind of tend to think these recipes are a bit sweet, so I might do a bit less sugar. You know when butters have like that written on it? So smart. One of these would be 3 cups of icing sugar. So let's just like measure out the icing sugar and see how much icing sugar we actually have to work with. That's like 2 cups of icing sugar, a bit more. I'm gonna need to buy more icing sugar. I've got like 3 cups. You know what, let's just make icing with all the sugar I've got and then just see if I need more. Right, so let's just use it all. I'm just gonna use all the 500 grams of butter with all the icing sugar I've got and just see what happens. Stuff this recipe, honestly. I'm so stupid. I'm just realizing, I'm just editing this, I'm realizing how stupid I am. Just then I said I'm gonna use all 500 grams, but I don't have 500 grams, I have 250 grams. So that was me thinking I didn't have enough icing sugar for 500 grams, but I was only using 250 grams. So the butter is softened. Sorry about this weird lighting, it's just like PowerPoint is. Whisk it all up, just the butter by itself, so it's nice and creamy. It just seems to be going everywhere. I don't know if it's on the lowest settings as well. I don't remember in the past if I just, maybe I just mixed it with a spoon. Maybe that would just be easier. I'm just gonna try this. Taste of butter. More sugar. I just realized I poured lots more sugar and I didn't sift it, so. So I've added all the sugar in and a little bit of milk into the butter. Moment of truth. It's okay. I decided I am gonna get more icing sugar because if I end up needing to make more icing, I'm needing to buy more icing sugar anyway, and then I was like, I could have just added more sugar into icing, I'm gonna be really annoyed, so I'm just gonna buy more icing sugar. So I just got a small packet, which is literally less than the recipe says, because I thought I had 500 grams, not 250, so ignore what I'm saying. Including one I've already added. So I'm just gonna like add all of this and hope that there's enough icing. That icing sugar was so lumpy and it just did not want to go through the sieve. I didn't end up using it all, as was actually a lot more in here than I thought there was. I'm adding another 2 cups, so altogether it'll be 5 cups, and the recipe said for 6 cups. That's still a lot of sugar, but not as much as the recipe said. It's just started to rain, so it's a good job I got the icing sugar when I did, because I have to walk to the shops, but it's definitely a good move. It tastes so much better. Still a little bit of butter lumps, but we'll get rid of those. I'm gonna color it now. Wash my hands. Okay, now it's time to food color it. I don't know what color to do. Light blue would be probably the easiest to make. She's my best friend I'm making this for, and I really have no idea what color she would like. I think I'm just gonna go aqua because I don't want to mess it up. I'm just gonna take a little bit of it out because I want to be able to do, I'm gonna write the number 19 on the top of the cake, so I'm just gonna leave literally a scoop out. And I'm gonna try and make white, which will be interesting. Supposedly to make yellow buttercream white, do you add purple? So I don't have purple food coloring, so I'm gonna have to add the tiniest bit of red and the tiniest bit of blue. And I mean really tiny because it's a small bit, so if we add too much it's just gonna be purple anyway. So I've got Q-tips. I'm literally just gonna dip the Q-tip into the red and just touch the icing with it. That's literally it. Same thing, I'm just gonna dip Q-tip into the blue food coloring and literally just touch the icing. So that's literally how much food coloring I've got in it. Not much at all. Now, moment of truth. I'm gonna mix it up and hopefully this should make it whiter. It definitely did work, especially more in real life. It's got like quite a green, bit of a green tinge to it. I think it was a bit too much blue. I'm gonna try to add a little bit more red. It's definitely working. I mean, like, it's not that yellow anymore, but it's kind of like a weird beigey gray.
The way that I filmed this was really weird and confusing, so sorry about that, but we're back to the icing now.
I'm gonna add a little bit of blue and a little bit of green to make it aquarish. A little bit, because I do want it to be pastel. Teeny bit of green. So this is a colour. Not sure how I feel about it. Not too happy with it, to be honest. Because it's still a bit like, I don't know, like it looks like icing. I don't know how to describe it, but I want it to be more solid. So I added quite a lot more blue in. And I'm liking how it's looking. So much for pastel, but I like this a lot better. I'm gonna mix it with an electric mixer because there's still, like you can see, there's a lot of butter lumps. Now it's been whisked, I'm actually really happy with how it's looking and the color and everything. I think it'll look really good on the cake. It's time for probably the hardest part for me. It's time to level out the cake. I've got the cakes, they're really like rocks because they've been in the fridge overnight. It's time to level them out. I don't have a cake leveler. I really want one. So I'm just using a bread knife and I'm going to try and cut from the seam of the cake to the other seam of the cake. I'm trying to slice upward rather than downwards because if you go down, there's no going back. If we go up, we could always take more off. Oh, that was pretty good. See, it's a bit rough, so I'm gonna fix that up. I didn't think that would come off in one piece like that. I was kind of impressive, not gonna lie. Tastes dry. Good, but dry. Moment of truth. Try the cake and the icing together. It's nice. Next one. Okay, I did it. It's like really dense. This one's like fluffy and this one is like, I don't even know, it's like spongy, but not in a good way. We'll be able to tell though if this one was margarine or butter, because this one, I did one of them with margarine and two of them with butter. So if the other one's the same as this, I'd say it's because of the butter. Yeah, this is the same. Really dense and like almost damp, doughy almost. Yeah, that's the way to describe it, doughy. There you have it, margarine makes fluffier cakes. And in my opinion, definitely better cake. Ouch. That could have been really bad. This is why, be careful with knives. Okay, so I'm just icing the cakes a little bit. I never really know how much to put in these layers. Honestly, I never know. I've made one of these cakes twice. This is my third layer cake. Okay, next layer. The way I've layered it is the nicest piece on top. I put the rock hard one on top as well because it's gonna be easy to ice and make it look pretty. Now I'm going to do outside. I'm actually going to get my Lazy Susan. What I do, and this is why I need a lot of icing, is I put like thick blobs of icing on, specifically where the gaps are. Then we get a little spatula and do. I don't know what this is actually for, but oh, that's good for cake. And then I run it along on the thickest part so that it scrapes all the icing off and it keeps it in the gap. Now I'm just thinning it out because I really don't want it to be thick because we're going to put another layer of icing on after. Really just to cover the crummy edges so that when we do, and fill in the gaps, so that when we do a nice layer, it doesn't, you know, get crumbs all in it. In the fridge, it kind of looks like mint chocolate chip. Actually kind of looks cool like this. Like, is it just me, or does a chocolate naked cake like this, that would be really cool. I don't make cakes like this all the time if I have an excuse to. Maybe I should sell them. No, I'm not that good. So now that's gonna go into the fridge. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some practice on some baking paper of what I want to do for the top of it, for like the, you know what I mean? We don't have piping bags, we have these weird like piping tubey things. This is something that I very much have had zero practice in. Yeah, I definitely need practice. Some of these nibs are really weird. Come on, hello? What's wrong with you? I'm not very good at this. So they're a bit melted now, but I've just done some practice little bobbies and I practiced the writing. But I think I'm gonna go with these ones. Quite pleased with myself, quite chuffed. It's only been like half an hour, but the cake is like pretty set. So I'm gonna do the outer layer because I want to set that as well before I do the nuzzly bits so that I can easily wipe them off if I stuff up. Now realizing when trying to ice it how crooked it is. I finished the 19 and obviously that, oh, damn it. Let me fix that back. The 19 and the gen are a bit iffy because my makeshift piping bag split open, so I literally did it like this. I am happy with how it turned out, but it's just like annoying because obviously the more and more I went on, the better I got at these little guys. I did remove the top ones once and did them again, but I could have just kept removing them and it would have been better every time. But I made the mistake of trying to fix it back here after the bobbies were already on, and as you can see, it's just a bit of a mess. So I'm not gonna try and fix anything else. It's done. That's the hardest part, is knowing when to stop. Altogether, I'm pretty happy considering I've never done these things before. Like using a piping bag, I've never really done. Now I've got a lot of cleaning up to do.